The sprint race is now going to start soon, so hopefully we see some good action between all these drivers and some controversy. lap is now going to start soon. Now the cars on the grid are now off, underway for the formation lap. They are going to now warm the tyres up and to try and get the best start for the Grand Prix. The pit lane starters have now just come outside. To start to get on the grid is the car of Dem X, who is in the Ferrari Academy. Following him is the car of Valkyrie, and to finish the top three off, it is the Alpine Academy driver of Sim. And they are lined up on the grid. The pit lane starters are in the pit lane and are waiting for the grid to go. Max Ventura's Grand Prix. And the pit lane starters are now going to wait until they have come out, and they are now going to go out. And the person leading this race so far seems to be the car of DMX so far. So he's kept his lead down towards turn 1, and he is leading this Grand Prix sprint race so far. Following him is Valkyrie, then Sid, then Henry, then Miles, then MK, then Kai. The top 3 now going through the turns. They are building the gap to P4, which is about 1 second. On board now with Valkyrie, it seems to be that he's lost the position to Sin, who is now up into P2. DMX still having a comfortable lead, but it seems to be like Valkyrie is losing some time. The gap between between Sin and Valkyrie is now over 1 second. Now towards into the braking on the Ferris wheels corner, you can see how much Valkyrie has lost. Going under the bridge now, but Valkyrie has a nice lead over the car of Fion, who is now going through this long C turn. Follow him in is MK, then Kai, and then MK, Kai, and Miles. Going on board now with MK. You can see how much he has to defend onto that Williams Academy driver. It seems to be that he is losing out a little bit on the tyres. He hits the wall just a little bit, and he loses the position to Henry. Kai is slowly behind him. He is gaining. He is in that 1 second gap. MK tries to look for an overtake down into turn 1. He doesn't make the overtake through the inside, but Henry gets a 6 second time penalty due to corner cuts. And Kai is looking for a position now on MK. MK has lost a lot of time. Henry and Kai managed to slip through MK, and MK loses the rears. He hits the wall, but he is managing to keep on going. He has a little bit of damage on the wing. It seems to be his rear tyres aren't fully warmed up properly, and the soft compound isn't helping him so far. Meanwhile, Kai goes wide, but he has managed to stay in front of MK, and now he's making a move on Henry, who has gotten a 6 second time penalty for over 6 cc's, and Kai will manage to stick a move, but down into the Ferris wheel turn, Henry decides to do a dive bomb, and it does work out for him, but he has a terrible exit, and Kai will manage to have a better exit, the better grip, and out throughout the turn. Going through the long S straight, you can clearly see Henry is pushing the car, braking. He brakes after, but he is hit the wall. He loses time to Kai, and he over brakes a little bit, and MK couldn't overtake Henry here, and MK still manages to stay in P7, Henry in P6, and Kai in P5. But on board now with Demex, you can clearly see his domination in F2. He's been leading this race from the start. The 7 second build up to Valkyrie, who's in P2. So behind him is Sin, and you can see how slow Miles is, because he's now crossed the line, and he is 40 seconds behind the race leader, approximately 15 seconds off P7, which is MK. board now with Theo. You can clearly see how much he has to manage the tyres here. He has lost here. He is losing some time to P3, which is Sid, but it is working out for him as he is leading P5, which is Kai, who is pushing his McLaren F2 car and his tyres. So we could see him pitting earlier if his tyres are losing the grip. But Theo is going to be doing the management for the tyres. And the FIA has just said MK has got a 3-second time penalty, so we're gonna go on board now with him and see what's happened. And we can just see on Valkyrie's on board when we were switching cameras, he hit the wall just slightly, and he's lost time. Nick, who's right on his rear diffuser. You can see how much Demex has built a gap to Valkyrie. 11 seconds now. You can clearly see his domination in this lead. On board now is Kai. You can clearly see him pushing on his tyres. Meanwhile, he is behind Theo, who is 3 seconds ahead of him, but he has built up a gap to MK, who is 10 seconds behind him. So Kai can start pressing and trying to force a mistake out of Theo, who might be able to push. I nearly has a mare there, just about hitting the wall. He nearly loses the Riz, just then coming off the exit of the turn. Now on the straight, you can clearly see him pushing the car. But Theo will manage to stay ahead through the Ferris wheel turn. Going around the Esther, you can clearly see how much Kai will be gaining on Theo, and it seems to be he's gained about half a temp. And going on the bridge straight, you can see how much Fiona is now struggling here. He's getting forced mistakes. But Kai, he's been given a 3-second time penalty for being over 3 cc's. Same with MK. But Kai will have lost the gap to Fiona. And has gained 3 seconds back, so he is now 3 seconds behind Fiona again. Miles, the back marker of this race. You can see how slow he's going, but there's yellow flags in sector 1. What has happened there? What's happened there? It seems to be one of the cars has flipped over, but it seems like they're going. It's either Henry or Miles. The FIA are looking into it. They're saying they're thinking of something, but they aren't doing anything so far. So it's fine for now. But it's green flags. It's green flag racing. Henry goes a bit wide there. On board now with MK, you can clearly see him struggling with the tyres. You can see how much his tyres are losing. The FIA has just made an announcement on who's got penalties. Henry has a 9-second time penalty, Kai has a 6-second time penalty, and MK still has a 3-second time penalty. MK going around the Ferris wheel turn, you can clearly see how much he is losing out. Dem has just crossed the line. He is leading the race still. But he has lost some time to Sin, who is now up into P2. Valerie has lost the position. No, Valerie has lost the position, has lost P3 as Kai has overtaken him. On board now with Kai, we're going to see what's happened to Val. And it seems to be he's having some issues. Kai could be on his way to get a podium finish for a sprint race here. 5 laps to go before the end of this sprint race, and Valkyrie is seeming to make a lot of mistakes. He doesn't know if it's time management. Kai scrapes the wall. He will have a terrible exit. Valerie getting the slipstream down into the turn. Kai goes a bit wide, but Valkyrie takes the inside route and he is ahead and up into P3. Kai will be wishing to have defended that, but Kai will be going on in the attack now. He's using his slipstream, but he won't be gaining too much because Valkyrie has been conserving his tyres and has that extra grip to push and defend down into the first wheel turn. You can clearly see how much Kai is now begging for this P3 spot, and he is on the gearbox of Valkyrie. MK has just gotten a 6-second time penalty, but this P3 slot won't matter to Kai anyways because he will be getting a 3-second time penalty and Valkyrie will be staying in P3. On board now is Sin. You can clearly see how much he can defend. He can do his tyre saving now because he is not getting pressed by anyone whatsoever. But somehow Miles has not been lapped yet, so that's good for him and Williams. He has hit the wall, but he has managed to keep it going due to him just barely missing it, so good for him. Flipped over. It should be a safety car. Miles has flipped over on the straight and it Miles has stopped on the track. He seems to have an issue. It says big crash, safety car. It's a safety car. There's a safety car now. Dem's pushing all for nothing now. Sin and Valkyrie will be happy for this safety car. Dem will be pissed and will be trying to gain on this for this sprint race win. On board now with the safety car rear camera, you can see where Dem is. He is now behind the safety car and will be leading there. It is 4 laps to go, and Dem is hoping that the safety car ends sooner but Sin is hoping not. This could be a good time for drivers to make some new moves now. Sorry there. The safety car now has everyone behind him. It seems to be, but the following drivers has gotten these penalties. Henry has a 15-second time penalty. MK and Kai both have 12s. FX, Val and Tiger have a 3-second time penalty. This could change everything of this race. Safety car is ending this lap, and the leader of the pack, which is DMX, will decide the tempo of the cars behind him. He's driving slowly to prepare his car. Kai was just told by his engineer to cede the position to Valkyrie in case they get a warning or anything. And he has done so. We're gonna be on the onboard with Valkyrie to see what can happen. It's green flag, the race is continued, but Valkyrie makes a critical move on Sid, who moves up into P2. And it seems to be Dem has made more positions now. Crossing the line, Dem will be leading by front of the pack. So far it is Dem, Valkyrie, Sin, Kai. Henry has made a P5 move on Fion. And MK follows behind, and Miles has DNF. So this could be some big changes here. Valkyrie, who is now pushing for the sprint race win. You can clearly see how much he's pushed the tyres compared to Dem, who has the fresher tyres. But he has hit the wall and he loses some time to Dem. Meanwhile, Sin could try and make an opportunity out of it, but we're going to go on board now with Kai, MK actually, to see what can happen. And he tries to make a move on his teammate Theo. Theo doesn't seem to do it, but MK has the better exit on Theo because he hits the wall and overtakes him. But down into this turn, MK makes sure he closes the window on Theo and make sure he doesn't get the move. But Theo does a dangerous move on the outside of the corner. He hits the wall slightly on his rear left tyre and loses time at the end. Now on board now is Kai. He's clearly seeing him. Now trying to overtake. And Henry is pressing him. Kai was trying to look for a little dive bomb down the thing, but through the test, you can clearly see how many people lost to Kai. And Kai is now on the rear box. Now turning into the bridge straight. Valkyrie has hit the wall. Same with Henry. They've both hit the wall. And now Sid has had a terrible exit due to him having to react so early. Kai has gotten P3. 3 laps to go. Says the FIA, 2 laps to go. It seems to be like Dem has lost some time because he had a 5-second gap at the start of the lap, and now they've and have gained some time to him. Kai is trying to press Sin. He is side by side now, down into turn 3. Going into turn, and Kai is ahead of Sin and will be having the clean air to gain some time. The Valkyrie is on the gearbox of Sin and will be looking for a move. And you can see how much Sin wants P2 because he's pressing Kai and he tries to make an overtake down on the inside. He does make it. And due to this fighting, it seems to be Valkyrie is now going to start to join the fight. Going through turn 6. Kai has lost some pace and the grips. And Valkyrie takes a lovely turn. And he overtakes both Kai and Sin in 2 corners. Through goes Valkyrie. That's unbelievable. Kai is now side by side to Valkyrie down to the Ferris wheel turn. You can clearly see how much these 3 drivers want this P2 slot. The battle for P2. Sin looks to be on the move on Kai. The Valkyrie is gaining and gaining, and the fight is now over. But P3 is still up for grabs, and Sin is doing exactly that. He is pushing. Kai gains pressure time there. He has the 53, so he's just trying to make a move. He breaks a bit too early and Sin tries to capitalise on it, but doesn't make it. But Kai will be side by side because Valkyrie also broke early as well. Down through this turn, it seems to be Kai makes a barrier exit and has a slower exit, sorry. And Sin is in the lead and we're on the final lap of the race. On board now with Red. Let's see how he has done it. Going through these turns, he is trying to push for an improvement on the fastest lap, and is doing so. This race is a 2 minute. Every lap is always 2 minutes. Then now going through the Ferris wheel turn, you can see how much his tyres are now going because he has pushed the tyres. He is a medium tyre runner. And shows you the balance between hards and softs, and the mediums are doing him a favour. Mex has pushed. He has pushed this race. He has done really well in this sprint race. Demex crosses the line. He wins the sprint race in Las Venturas. Put on board with Val. You can see who comes in P2. Because crossing the line, Val is in P2. But it's a master. And Kai manages to take P3 from Sin. Sin has lost out on these positions. is Demex, who is in P1 and is going to lead the race tomorrow. Valkyrie in P2, and Kai, who finishes top 3 in P3 and gets his first podium. But penalties can come into play. Kai could get dropped down to P4 due to his 12-second time penalty. And they have, FIA have announced it. Sin will be going into P3 due to Kai's 12-second time penalty. And Kai will not be happy for it. But he will get put into P4, which is better than no points. And he will be taking it. So dun,